Welcome to the video lecture series of Theory of Computation. Today we are going to discuss about some of the topics of computable function. I am your instructor Poonam Patel. Let's start to understand this concept. In today's lecture we are going to discuss about the primitive recursion. Now what is the recursive function? So as we have already know the recursion means the function calling itself with its own definition. So let me say G is a recursive function which containing a k variables, then the h is the resulting function which is called as a h is obtained through the recursion as follows. How it will obtain? Like h which takes n inputs, which take n arguments and defined by using the g functions, where g is defined by g of number of the inputs, and we have to call a recursively h functions, where h is takes x1 to up to xn as a arguments. It means that it takes n arguments. Consider the example of addition function. Now we are going to define the addition function. So as we know, addition, here I have defined one addition function add, which take two parameters x comma y as an input and return x plus y. But this symbol plus symbol is not defined in a primitive recursive one, in primitive recursive. So how we can define this addition function? So in a previous video we have discussed three basic functions: zero function, constant zero function, successor function and projection function. So as we know, successor function, what successor function do? It takes one input and return, like it takes x as an input and return x plus 1 as an output. For the example, can we use this successor function to define this addition function? We could say like this: add of x comma y plus 1 equal to successor of add of x comma y. Now to understand this, let us take the example so you can get the clear about this, you can get clear cut idea about this. Like suppose I want to define add, one example, 3 comma 2, okay, 3 comma 2. So can we write this function like this: successor of add 3 comma 1, because it is a y plus 1, so y plus 1 is 2. Can we write like this? Yes, okay. Now again we call the successor function recursively like this: successor, same way, add 3 1, add 3 comma 0, successor function add 3 comma 0. Now you can see the interesting thing over here. If we are adding a 0 to the number, it always return that same number. It will always return to the number. So here you can see, so here I can write like this: successor of what it will return? The same 3 over here. So this function, if you see successor of 3, so this function looks like a recursive function. Adding a 0 number to the number which returns the same which return that number is our base case, and calling the successor function recursively is our recursive function. The base case and recursive function both are a fundamental formula to define the primitive recursive function. So what is our base case? So in this example, our base case is adding a 0 to the number. So add x comma 0, add x comma 0 is equal to x, and our recursive function is, we can define our recursive function like over here: adding x comma y plus 1, recursively call the successor function, add x comma y. Is the primitive recursive. So primitive recursive, it takes two functions. The function f, which is our base function, we can say is our base function, which take which take vector of n inputs and return a single output. Same here, we can define another function which is called as a recursive functions g colon, which take n plus 2 and return as an input and return single output. So here we define our resulting, h is our resulting function, which is, we can say that the recursive, we can say the resulting function, which is a primitive recursive function, recursive functions that can be defined as a row which take n as parameters and takes two functions where f is our base case functions and g our recursive functions, and it defined as it takes n plus 1 number of inputs and return a single output. Now let's define this h functions into the terms of base case. How we can define? So here we can define the base case for the resulting functions where it takes n number of inputs and 0 as a final input. So this is the base case that primitive recursive function will always consider this way. So this is the base case that primitive recursive will always consider. Now, so in the base case function, we are going to pass nth input to the base case function, which label it as f as a base case function. Now how we are going to define a recursive case? So recursive case basically define, so recursive case is defined by this h of x, x1, x2 up to xn, which takes n inputs, and here we are not taking 0 as a final input because this is not a base case, this is a recursive case. So here we are going to take a y plus 1 as a final input, and here we are defining the recursive function, our recursive function in form of g. So here we are defining our recursive function g, which takes x1 up to xn, x1, x2 up to xn, and as an input. The second input is our y, and the third input, which recursively call our h functions. Now here the definition for the primitive recursive function. So function is considered as a primitive recursive. We can say that which function is said to primitive recursive function. So the function which is obtained by applying composition functions, initial function and minimization. So if the function is obtained by doing this, we can say that the function is a primitive recursion. So here function is considered a primitive recursive if it is obtained from initial functions and through a finite number of composition and recursive steps. So here we have defined the set PR primitive recursive function is defined defined as follows. First, all initial function are the element of PR, which is called as a primitive recursive, and second step said that for every k greater than equal to 0 and m greater than equal to 0, if function f which take k as a inputs, k number of inputs and return a single output, and same the g1, g2, gk up to gk which take m as a input, m number of inputs and return a single output are the elements of PR. It means that the composition function we are using, then the composition function f of g1, g2 up to gk can be obtained from the f and g1, g2, gk up to gk by composition is an element of PR. So this is the composition, this is defined, this is the defining the resulting function can be obtained by applying the composition function. And third one is for every n greater than equal to 0, every function f which take n as a n number of inputs and return a single output in a PR, and every function which take n plus 2 number of inputs and return a function g which take n plus 2 as a number of inputs and return single output, the function h which is our resulting functions which take n plus 1 as an argument as a number of inputs and return a single output, which is obtained from a g and f by primitive recursion is in PR. Now let us look the example of addition function. So addition function which takes two inputs and return a single output. Now we need to define an addition function in terms of primitive recursive functions. So as we know, we can define the primitive recursive function in terms of two. functions like base case and recursive fix. Now we know add is taking two inputs x comma y and return the output of x plus 1 x plus y. So here we are going to define this add functions. So add is our resulting function, which is h, that we have already discussed in a previous slide, h. So here we define h as a addition function because we need to define a add function. So add is equal to row 1, it takes one parameters and takes row 1 and where f comma g, where f is our base case and g our recursive case, which define we can say that this function is defined which takes n plus 1 number of inputs and return a single output. So here f is defined in the form of base case. So how we are going to define the base case? So we are going to define our base case like add x comma 0 is equal to f of x equal to x. Now if we look at this function, f of x, so it means that the same value we have to return over here. If we call add x comma 0, it always return this number. Adding 0 to the number is always return that number always. So we can think this function in the as a we can think this function as a projection function. If you remember, we have already discussed about the identity projection. So we can define this function in the form of projection function. So this our base case function, we can define projection 1 1, where 1 as a number of argument is defined and the 1 means the first element of that function we have to return over here. So in this way we can define the projection function. Now in this way we can define the base case function. Now how we are going to define the recursive function g. So here we are defining the recursive case for the addition function where add is equal to x comma y plus 1, and in the form of g function it takes three values x, y and third value where we are going to call the successor functions. So which is already discussed in a first slide. So how we are defining the successor function? Successor of add of x comma y. So here you can see g, we can think of g as our recursive function. We can think g takes the three inputs, okay, x1 x2 x3, because it takes the three input x, y and add x comma y. We can apply a successor function to this third value. So we can see successor of x3 like this. So we can think g is a composition function of successor to the projection function. So here we can see a successor of, here you can see, can we define this thing? The whole thing we can say this is the three input values. It takes three values. So we can define successor of x1, x2, x3, and successor is applied on the add of x comma y. So here we can see projection of, because it always takes the third value, so it takes three parameters. So three parameters and return the third value. So we can say that x, y and the third value is add x comma y. Okay, so what it will be written? Successor composition function, three parameter x 1 2 3, it takes three arguments and return the third argument. So here we can say that the projection function add x comma y is applied. Same, this is the same. Okay, so in this way we can define the addition. In GTU exam they have asked or prove that the given function f of x equal to x plus y is primitive recursion. So in this way we can define the given function addition is a primitive recursive. So you need to specify the base case function for this addition function and also recursive function. In terms of base case, we can define in terms of f, base case function is f, and is our g is our recursive function. So here I can define our addition function as a primitive recursive function. So here we can define row 1. So this is row 1 where f is our base case. So what is our base case? Base case take the projection function identity. It takes one input and it takes one argument and return the first element of that argument. And same here, the second is our recursive case, which take the composition of successor function to the projection function, where projection function take 3 arguments and return the third element of that argument. So this is our recursive case and this is our base case. So in this way we can define the add function in the form of primitive recursive function. So first we have to discuss about the recursive, predicate and bounded mineralization. Now first, any function we can define f of x as like this. F of x is equal to f1x where p of 1 of x as true. The second function we can define like f2 x where p2x is true. Likewise, we have defined f of k of x where p of k of x is true. So here what is f? So we can say that fi of x is represented some properties of a functions and pi of x is represented some condition, and when this condition is true we can apply the function like this. So in other words, we can say that any functions f(x) can be represented by its properties fi of x, and these properties apply when the condition of p or pi of x is true. So the condition, as we know, the condition has pi of x only two state, true or false. Hence pi of x is also called as predicates. This is more precisely we can call as n place predicate, because x can be placed at any n in the domain of capital N set of natural numbers, which is. Now next is the recursive predicate. So what is the recursive predicate? So recursive predicate can be defined as fp of x equal to 1 if the p of x is true and is equal to 0 if the condition is false. Now all these predicates can be written by other primitive recursive functions and initial functions. So all these predicates can be written by other primitive recursive functions and initial functions, hence they are a primitive or recursive predicates. This recursive predicate can make the use of a logical operator such as and or not. Now what is bounded quantification? So bounded quantification are the quantification added in the list of standard quantifier like for all. So this symbol is used for, as we have already know. So as we have already know, this symbol is indicated the quantification. So this symbol is indicated for every, and this symbol is indicated that exist. So if capital P here, P is predicate, then bounded existentially quantification of P is denoted by EP, this way, and this is defined as a EP of x, capital X comma k, where there exists y with 0 less than equal to y less than equal to k, such that P of x comma y is true. The bounded universal quantification of predicate is denoted by A of P, and we can define it like AP of x comma k, where for every y, here always notice that they said that there exists y with this condition, and they said for every y which satisfy this condition where 0 is less than equal to for every y satisfying 0 less than equal to y less than equal to k, where p of x comma y is true. Now next is bounded minimalization. Now minimalization is the maximum value, we can say that maximum minimum value which satisfy the function. For a predicate p, the bounded minimalization of a capital P is the function which we can denote by b, which we can denote by like this bp, where this function is taken the n plus 1 vectors of set of natural numbers to and single natural numbers. Now b of p of x comma t, where the minimum value, we can say that the minimum value y such that 0 less than y less than or equal to 0 less than or equal to y less than or equal to t, and p of xy and p of xy if this set is not empty. So this is the defined mean of y such that the condition 0 less than y, 0 less than or equal to y less than or equal to t, and p of xy if this set is not empty, otherwise it contains t plus 1. Now here you can see this symbol is often used to define the minimalization operators, and we can sometimes write this statement likewise, like b of p of xt, likewise over here you can define this term like this over. So we can define this term likewise this. Now what is the new recursive function? So here new recursive or simply recursive partial functions is defined as the first, every initial function is a new recursive functions. Every function obtained by composition or primitive recursion is also called as a new recursive function, and every total functions defined by the new operator is a new recursive function. We can define like f of x is equal to new y f of x comma y is equal to 0, like this. We can define f of x new y f of x comma y is equal to 0, and the set of new recursive function is denoted by capital M. I hope this concept is clear to you. Thank you all.